everyone. This is William Armstrong here with a video screen recording of Debian 13. I installed it on here to this Mac Mini 2012 computer. Now, I'll show you that it's a Mac Mini 2012. Let's see, I will do the command called lshw or lspci. This is actually running on a 2012 Mac Mini. And here is all the hardware of the 2012 Mac Mini I got it running from. LSPCI lists all the hardware in it. It is an Intel Mac because it's got a Thunderbolt port on it. But it is Apple because it's got Apple built-in IR receiver and Apple Bluetooth USB host controller shown here. So this does identify that it's an Apple Intel. Those two are highlighted right there. Stuff like that. So that is an Intel 2012 Mac Mini because it's those two I highlight gives away that it is running on an Apple box. The Mac Mini I've got is a Mac Mini 2012 that runs Mac OS Catalina version 10.15, which is too far out of date. Hold on. This is Debian 13. It just got released today. Here it is, the website. Here's the release note. After 2 years, 1 month, and 30 days of development, the Debian project is proud to present its new stable version 13 codenamed Trixie. It ships newer desktop environment versions, which is GNOME 48, PD Plasma 6.3, LXDE 13, LXQT 2.1, and XFCE 4.10, or not 4.10, but 4.1, I should say. Hold on. Here it is. Now, obviously, Debian 13 no longer supports 32-bit hardware anymore. Here's the thing. Debian does still support 32-bit packages on 64-bit, like what Ubuntu does, and the same thing as well with Arch Linux. So Debian Arch support 32-bit packages on 64-bit systems only, but the 32-bit installers for Debian and Arch have been since long discontinued as a result of Debian joining the ranks of Ubuntu and Arch, dropping 32-bit installations and 32-bit installers. Debian 13, which came out today, only supports the 64-bit architecture or 64-bit PC hardware going forward. If you're running 32-bit, then you need to retire the hardware, or if you've got a system that is on 32-bit installs of Debian on 64-bit, then you can try to cross-grade them. Cross-grading is a bit risky, but you can do a Debian reinstall on a 32-bit computer. Well, if you're using a 32-bit install on a 64-bit computer, you can actually reinstall Debian on 64-bit, but use the 64-bit installer to switch your system to 64-bit Debian if you're using a dual-core system. But if you're using a single-core system, then you can forget about it. You can read about upgrading. It says here i386 is no longer supported as a regular architecture. There is no official kernel and no Debian installer for i386 systems. The i386 architecture is now only intended to be used on a 64-bit AMD 64-bit CPU. Users running i386 systems should not upgrade to Trixie. Instead, Debian recommends either reinstalling them as AMD 64 or possible, or retiring the hardware. Debian gets the RISC-V support or RISC-V 64 support, but it also will have to be the last release for the ARM EL architecture. Debian 4 and later versions, Debian's versions 14 and above, will drop the ARM EL architecture altogether at the next version, but 32-bit computers are dropped off. by Debian 13 at the last stop, which Debian 12 was the last stop for 32-bit hardware. Debian 13 completely moves on and forgets about 32-bit in the background. This is it. This is the distro that I've installed in this 2012 Mac Mini. And now